Does this sound familiar? You got one device that lets you catch the game live, another that lets you stream your favorite shows, you're watching sports highlights on your phone, and you got your neighbor's best friend's login for the good stuff. Well, I want to tell you about a simple way to get all that entertainment you love without the hassle. And a great way to finally get your TV together. It's called DirecTV Stream, and it brings your live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before, so you can watch your favorite sports, movies, and shows like Survivor all in one place. That means no more juggling remotes and no need to buy another device ever again. And the best part? There's no annual contract. So get rid of the clutter and the confusion and get your TV together with DirecTV Stream. You can learn more at directv.com. That's DIRECTV.com. Compatible device required. Content varies by package. Yes, grab your torch, dip it into this podcast, because we've got merge beer to drink. Welcome to No Buffs. We're back to recap episode 6 of Survivor 41. I'm Jay Skeets. With my final 3, we got the bearded one, Trey Kirby.
Hey-o.
Hey, yo.
And No Dunks super producer, JD.
Hello.
There he is. And I know what you're thinking right away. Where's Jason? Where's Jason Concepcion? Well, the truth is, we played a little rock, paper, scissors and decided to send Jason to Exile Island for a week.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, but he'll be back, and, you know, Probst might show up and give him an advantage. So who knows what to expect next week here on No Bucks. But he's not here, unfortunately, for today's show. Or maybe he just watched last night's episode and was like, no thanks.
What's there to talk about?
We'll figure it out. Yeah, what a weird episode. Shout out to the live tribe, though, right now, our loyal viewers joining us live on YouTube every Thursday afternoon here. Thanks so much, guys. Got a great comment right away. Bradley, season 41, drop the 4, add the 1, divide by 2, times by 6, and tell everyone all your secrets. You're not wrong, Bradley.
Can be a bit convoluted out there on the island.
Yes. If you haven't already, subscribe to No Bus on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and if you can, leave your boys a rating and review. Send in your questions, comments, screen grabs, whatever you want about Survivor 41. Email them in, nodunks@theathletic.com. Just throw Survivor in the subject line, or tweet them in at NoDunksInc, or leave them in the YouTube comments below. So we're going to do things a little bit differently here on today's No Buffs. If Survivor can do it, then so can we.
Why not, right? Yeah. Why not?
Yeah,
we're going to do 45 minutes, then we're going to smash an hourglass and start from the beginning and do it a different way.
Yeah, no, we're not going to go through this episode scene by scene because I don't want to bury the lead here. We're going to jump right to this merge, semi-merge, mergatory, I guess it's being labeled.
That was a good line.
That was pretty good from Xander. It was wild. You know, they get tree mail. Sure sounds like we're all merging. They get there, drop your buffs. Everybody's excited. And then Probst hits them with the twist. You got to earn your way into this merge. We're going to draw for 2 teams. The winning team, they get a buff, which, spoiler, Nasira is very happy about. You get a feast because it is the merge. And you don't have to compete in individual immunity. You basically get like a free pass, which is nice. The losing team, no buff, no feast, and you must compete for individual immunity and then vote someone out before you actually merge. The added twist, we're drawing rocks. Whoever gets the 2 gray sits out challenge and have their fate decided by the winning team. Then a whole other twist, which we learn later in this episode, is the person who ends up being Erika on Exile Island for 2 days. Probst shows up and gives her this crazy power of, hey, here's an hourglass, here's a hammer. If you want to, you can smash this thing and we're going back in time. You can kill baby Hitler. You can change the course of history. No, you can basically just erase what happens in the challenge. The winning team is now got to go into immunity and they got to play, and everybody that lost, they're safe. So that was a lot there because it is, Trey. What did you think of these crazy twists here at the merge and just this episode in general?
Well, this was an episode of Survivor, but like Sarah Gray mentions here in the live tribe, maybe Exhibit could have shown up because I heard you like twists. So I put a twist in your twist so you could twist whilst you twist. Oh my goodness. When Jeff looked me dead in the eye and said, nobody's getting voted off this episode, I felt like I had road rage, Skeets. What? What? I said to Laura, I think she could hear the exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point in my voice. What? I almost turned the episode off then. Once we heard that nobody was going to get voted out. That being said, I think Dalton Ross at Entertainment Weekly is right. I like the idea of messing with the merge a little bit. Had it just been the stuff where you split the two, everybody comes together, you split them into two fake tribes, kind of. They go through the challenge, and then that splits into this half the group in the red with the red buffs is fine for the next immunity challenge. They don't even have to compete. That would have been great. I think that would have been a cool way to change something up that's kind of stayed the same for the majority of the game. But then once they threw all this, basically everything you watched didn't actually happen into the challenge, I was furious, I would say. I'm seeing some people in the live tribe say this is the worst episode of Survivor ever. I'm also seeing some people saying they really liked it. I fall more into the former camp, I would say.
Okay, well, let's hear from JD. What did you think of this crazy merge twists, plural, and this episode in general? You're a fan or not?
I am a fan of big swings in general. This is overly convoluted, but I agree with Trey that sure, mix it up, make the merge that much harder to get into. But yeah, I too was, if we weren't doing this show, you know what? There's a new episode of Dope Sick. Maybe I'll watch that instead. But you know, I stuck with it because we're doing the show and we have to talk about it. But you know, I don't mind a two-parter. I don't mind a cliffhanger. Not that it was much of a cliffhanger.
No,
it was just
that's the problem, isn't it? Like this is this is not a cliffhanger. That's my real issue with the whole episode.
It make it a 2-hour episode. Who's watching Tough as Nails? Like, who is watching that show? I see the promos for that show, and it's like, oh, I'm watching people work. That sounds really good, you know. Like, there's like no twists on that show. You go to work, you work hard. Maybe there's a winner. I don't know, but give us an hour. Like, I mean, come on, like make it a 2-hour episode. They've done that before. I mean, you know, you want to be convoluted, but you don't want to give us time to wrap our heads around it, and you just make it so goddamn complicated. And you know, ultimately, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with them trying to mix it up and earn your way again into the merge. But also, what have we been doing this last 12 days? I thought I was earning my way into the merge by outlasting and outwitting and outplaying. Okay, you've got another hurdle for me to jump over. And okay, fine. It's a shorter game and you want to make it harder. You know, and poor Erika is just like, at least the silver lining with all of this is Erika now knows exactly where she stands, as if she didn't know before, but now it's confirmed. It's basically like she got voted out for a tribe that hasn't had tribal council yet. So that there's that, I guess. And now she has this crazy amount of power, and she's gonna smash that hourglass, I assume, right? I mean,
oh my God. I mean, how can she not? Like, this will be truly insane, especially like the whole episode is named after a line she said that she's ready to play like a lion. It will be hilarious if the cliffhanger and we come back next episode, she's like, no, I'm good. We're just going to keep it the same. Yeah. I'm not doing anything. That would be so weird. And that is a huge part, again, of my issue with the episode. It's like, she's doing this. Like you said, JD, why wouldn't she? She knows where she lies. It's like, she's a free pass through to the next one. Things change so quickly on Survivor. Yeah, some people are going to be upset with you. Who cares? Who cares? By 2 days later, everything will be flipped on its head and somebody else will be in trouble. So she's doing this. The other thing is, and Brian wrote this into us, why have Jeff essentially ruined the cliffhanger of this episode before the challenge? Why did they have to do this, breaking the fourth wall? and telling us what was going to happen here, that nobody's going home. There's no tribal council. My gut says they even knew this was going to fall a little flat. And so they're like, well, let's get ahead of it.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, let's just say, hey, this is what's going on here. And you're going to be upset anyway, but maybe not as upset if the episode ends and then you're suddenly like, you just see a part 2 coming next week. I don't know, maybe that would have been better at this.
Yeah, maybe they were trying to avoid like a Sopranos situation where the very last scene, it just ended and everybody's like, wait, is this over?
Right.
Maybe that's what Jeff was doing when he was talking to Tim Duncan's brother out there about what was going down. I will say, as far as the Jeff breaking the fourth wall, this one felt necessary to me. Again, him kind of like breaking the news to us and, getting them excited. And I did like a little bit of tension with them. You could actually like see them walking through the background. And he's got to like hurry through his lines so that Jamie Taco doesn't steal them. I was, that being said, it was like, this is the twist of the episode, and you're giving us the twist 10 minutes in. Very strange. Yeah. So, I'm with you, JD. I would have loved to see a 2-hour episode. Otherwise, like, this cliffhanger that ain't a cliffhanger, it better be a banger next week to make up for this week.
Right.
It has to. Yeah, again, Brian is like, wouldn't it have just been more interesting in terms of just watching the episode to have Erika go to Exile Island? Okay. Of course, not know she's going to receive the major advantage, because Probst also told us that. He's like, whoever goes there is going to get this power. Yeah, it's like, I mean, now look, I know we would assume that anyway, but come on, like, leave something for a surprise. And then, just really lean into the 2-part episode. We've had, Survivor Wiki says we've had, cliffhangers before.
Oh, like, sure.
Pearl Islands is sort of a famous one. It was called What the ... and that was like a 2-parter. Panama had one. Edge of Extinction had one. So this has happened before. This is just a lame cliffhanger, because again, we're all convinced she's doing it.
Right.
Like, try and tell me she's not. I can't even think of any reason why she wouldn't. Any at all. So
especially
you have it. Yeah.
Especially the confusing rule that we were sort of talking about off air earlier today. If she doesn't do it, she has to take part in this immunity challenge, and she could be on the block anyways. But if she smashes it, she has immunity, and she already knows she's at the bottom of her tribe, and she's going to be out of the mix for 2 nights. I mean, that's crazy. Of course she'd be crazy not to.
Yeah, she's got to smash it, and she will. I suppose the argument is that if she smashes it and she puts all the people who have the red buffs up for, they're losing their immunity, theoretically, they're going to be pissed at her, right? Like, I mean, they did just have to go through this really tough immunity challenge. They thought they had it won. At least they got a delicious feast out of it, but now you're going up against the vote. I can see the argument there that it would be a tough spot for her to be in, but she also has to do it. And like you're saying, Skeets, I mean, who knows? She smashes the thing. The other half goes through an immunity challenge. Who knows what happens 2 days later? There's not a lot of risk for Erika in smashing this thing.
No, I don't think so at all. It would have been fascinating if Nasir had been selected to go to Exile Island. Then you could talk yourself into, well, should he do it? Because he would have his Luvu bros there.
Yep.
That had sent him, maybe as in like hey, better for you to have the power, better for you to have all the information. You can survive. You're incredible. You could live 100 days out there, I'm sure. And then would he have done it? That would have been fascinating, maybe.
Yeah.
But all we've been told the last couple of episodes is like, she knows she's at the bottom of her tribe. She knows she's probably not like an individual immunity threat. I mean, we don't know what it is. Maybe it's something she could excel at, but sort of unlikely against some of the other people she'd be going up against. It's just smash that damn thing. So she's going to be doing it. I guess. Did Probst say you got to smash this before you leave the island, right? I think he said that.
Yeah, there was a time. There was like, you can sleep on it, basically, is what I.
Yeah, because she's there for 2 nights. But I'm jumping right to the end. The tease for next week is her standing there, appearing to having to tell everybody her decision. So what? She's just going to be like, I'm actually not competing in this, nor are you guys that won. because I smashed this thing and he gave me the power and the opportunity to do this, and I'm doing it. So she has to, of course, tell them.
Well, hopefully she tells the producers, yeah, I'm smashing this thing, or not even. And then she has to smash it in front of them. Right?
Wow.
Like,
no, that's why I asked if she had to do it on the island. That's what I think she's going to be doing it there, but you're right, JD. It'd be cool if she showed up with it and says, here's my decision, and smashes it right in front of them. That would really piss them off.
Yeah. I don't even mind this game flipping thing. Really. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know people are pissed off about it because they, they're going to be furious. Like, like that challenge looked very, very difficult. Like those big boulders and stuff, like that looked brutal. And then to have persevered through that, and mind you, they had a physical advantage, obviously, but to persevere through that and win immunity, get the feast, think you're safe, and then to have that flipped. I mean, it's designed to have the tribe that's going to lose that power be absolutely livid with her.
Yeah, which
is great. That's going to be very good TV, I hope. I mean, I don't know. And Trey, you mentioned you didn't mind the breaking of the fourth wall. This was one of the worst ones for me, honestly.
Okay, why?
Completely unnecessary, because he explains it right after, like, and as Brian points out, he spoils it.
He spoils it for us. He's literally just telling us there's no tribal council, guys, so just be ready for that.
Right. And then
please stay watching.
Yeah.
he's doing this very convoluted tease of what's coming, right? And then we cut to the shot of, oh, there's the camera person. Oh, and they're all sneaking in. He's like, oh, here they come. But I'm trying to concentrate on what fucking stupid thing he's telling me again, and I'm just like, hold on, what? Oh, they are coming in. Oh, we're breaking the fifth wall now. It's just, I found the whole thing very discombobulating and completely unnecessary. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's such a stunning lack of confidence that I feel like they have. I don't know if it's because we're coming off a pandemic and they're like really trying to dance as fast as they can to get people to stick around and watch the shows, or they're competing with themselves on streaming networks where there's, you could go on Paramount Plus and watch 40 episodes or 40 seasons of this thing. And I really hope it's not because, and this is how TV people think sometimes, is just like, this is our most diverse cast ever. Let's make it as interesting as possible. And I really hope it's not that, because I think the cast is amazing. And the cat, if this season is a failure, it's because of all these dumb twists within twists within twists. And so I watched, we watched the Great British Bake Off last season with the great Peter Sawkins one. That show has such a quiet confidence to it. You know what I mean? And I think I mentioned this before, where it's just like, it's about baking. It's a baking competition. It's a 2-hour episode every single time. And they have the confidence to, whenever they're tasting whatever they're making, all the music goes away. And and it's literally silence except for, you know what I mean? Like, okay. This show is hugely popular in this country, all over the world, right? Like, don't underestimate the audiences, like, you don't have to let the game be the game. I don't know what I'm saying here. I'm just saying, it's just like all of this. Yeah, razzmatazz, guys. Let's like, Survivor's pretty cool already. Like, all of these curveballs, it's really just pissing people off.
I think long-timer Ziggy is completely right. The show's getting more complicated and dumbed down simultaneously. Because at this point, like, keeping track of the advantages and what they actually mean, and this was a twist on a twist on a twist, that is a little bit confusing to actually follow. But on the other hand, somehow this is becoming Fast and Furious as well, where you're never really voted off. You're never really getting an immunity idol. You're never really, going to be suffering any sort of consequences. Like, it seems like something bad happens, but then suddenly you're Han and you're coming back a second time. It doesn't make sense. Right. And so it's like a little too Big Brothery to me, to be quite honest. And like, if this is what it was like in season 10, I don't know that I would have made it to season 40.
Right.
Okay.
Too
Well,
twisty.
that's interesting. Just back to Probst breaking the fourth wall in this episode. It would have been okay, right, if he said, and by the way, they're coming in, but tough as nails coming up next. Okay? So don't go anywhere.
The crazy thing about Tough as Nails to me is that every preview makes it look like it's the very first episode. like what's going on there?
I think
Just working on the project?
Boston Rob involved in Tough
He's
as
somehow
Nails
involved, yeah.
I don't know if he's on.
Is he actually on the show? Because
I
he
don't
did
know.
pop up for one of the promos going, hey,
I'm
it's me,
not
Boston
watching it.
Rob.
I'm
Check
never
out this
watching
really cool show. Yakety, yakety, yak. So it's like, okay.
I think what you were saying there, JD, when you were getting all worked up, and this was my thoughts with this episode, especially with Survivor in this season. The merge episode is generally awesome.
Yeah.
It's usually one of the better episodes of the entire season because, oh my God, we're bringing these tribes together, especially like a tribe like Luvu. They haven't even been. Are they going to stay tight? I mean, we saw that scene like, hey guys, I know we've wanted to try and kill each other here for a couple episodes now, but everybody cool? Let's just go to the final 6 and we'll just get there. Like, yeah, right. Smart play. That's what you say. I know they're not going to do it. But like, yeah, it's usually a great episode. You don't need to do a twist upon a twist upon a twist. You don't really need to do it at all, but you especially don't need to do it in a merge episode.
No.
Now, the counter to that is all they're trying to do is these guys, they're all Survivor nerds. They're all super fans. They know the flow of the game for the most part. So they think they know how they're going to attack this. They think they have their plans in place. And then, haha, suckers, jokes on you. I get that. And sure, they're going to be angry. They're going to be furious. They're going to find out right there. You got to imagine that Erika broke this thing. We're flipping it on its head. And I like that at least these 6 people that won the challenge, their minds have probably like their game bots probably been turned down a little bit because, we're good for a round. Yeah, we're still voting. We got to make a decision, but we're good.
Yeah.
And wow, that's going to be like, if she does ultimately break this thing, and we think she will, that will be exciting to see those 6 that thought they were safe have to like panic in the sense like, my God, now I got to win individual immunity. Do I have to play any of these challenge or advantages I have? And then, holy crap, I hope it's not me, and let's try and get this vote together. So
Right.
maybe it ends up working, and it might, but yeah, why not a 2-hour episode, or why not even call it part 1? Because they don't really call it that. They didn't call it that. And then they had Probst sort of spoiling it. So with the challenge itself, though, any thoughts or highlights from this? The blue team, by the way, the team that has won, Danny, Deshawn, Sydney, Ricard, and Evie. The yellow team, which lost, Xander, Tiffany, Liana, Shan, and Heather. And then Nasir and Erika were the 2 gray rocks. Erika on Exile Island. We'll get into her a whole lot more. And Nasir, he's good because of paper, rock, scissors. That's a lie, probably from Danny. But yeah, thoughts on the challenge, Trey. It did look pretty grueling. I mean, Xander was beaten up. He had
oh yeah,
raspberries all over.
He's gonna be thrilled when he finds out that Erika smashed that hourglass. He's gonna be like, totally worth it having everybody walk on me. Okay, I'm fine with that now. But actually, I thought this was a pretty solid challenge. The huge boulder was great. Have they done that before with like a huge ball stuck in the ground?
I don't remember that.
No, not stuck in the ground. We've seen giant boulders once or twice before, but nothing like that. Nora was like, where did they get that?
That's a great point.
And I was like, yeah, I mean, they made
the producer's job is just winding up a ball of yarn the whole time.
Because, it's not paper mache. I heard Tyson talking about it on his podcast. Like, those things are heavy, and it appeared heavy. Like, they're a couple 100 pounds at least. So, yeah, that part looked tough, Trey. But I don't think they've ever done the dig it out of the sand part and then get it going.
Yeah, Ian here in the live tribe is saying Gabon had a giant boulder. Right. So maybe that is true. We'd have to go back and check. But when they dug that thing out, I said to Laura, that's a big boulder. That thing was huge, man.
Well, Gabon, for those that do remember, Ian must, I think they had like a weird soccer game. They had a net at the bottom of a hill.
Oh, yeah.
And they threw a giant boulder down, and then there must have been some like hitting it or something. I don't know. There was some weird thing where they're trying to get it in the goal, but that was a giant boulder. You're right. Keep going though, Trey.
I like that. I like the giant boulder. I liked Jeff was really selling the teamwork from the losing tribe. Some of the greatest teamwork we've ever seen in Survivor history.
God, me, huge eye roll after he said that. I was like, give me a fucking break. Like Xander is carrying you across up the ramp there. I mean, come on. I mean, yeah, they were working together, but that's what you do. Like, it's not the greatest of all time in the history of Survivor. Please.
Yeah, that was a bit of an over-exaggeration, though. I will say, I mean, Jeff has to give that tribe props, because as soon as you saw they had Heather, I was like, oh, they're going to lose. They're definitely going to lose. I mean, they were completely outmatched physically, because Danny, I don't know if this is true, might be a hot take, best professional athlete to ever be on Survivor. He seems pretty in his prime athletically compared to a guy like Cliff Robinson or Jeff Kent, who are much past their prime. Scott Pollard as well. And the other thing, he seems like the chillest guy who has ever been a professional athlete that's been on there. Because I'm like, Scott Pollard was all about me. Cliff Robinson, I thought, was
he seemed pretty chill.
He was pretty chill, but he went home pretty early. Danny feels like he's actually making inroads with his tribe. Like, he has a position of power. He dominates at every challenge, and he seems really well liked. To me, it's like you can tell the difference. Like, this guy was a role player in the NFL. Like, he was special teams. He played in the defensive backfield, so he had to get along with people. He was not the star out there. He is not a diva at all. I love this guy. But now suddenly, after dominating that challenge, trying to win like Jeff told him to, he might be up for getting voted out just like that.
Yeah, that's true. This could backfire, man. And all of these extra votes and, of course, immunity idols, like, are one of them played like next week? Like, because that's when something like that would get played. Because it's like, whoa, we had a plan here and it's totally out the window now in terms of who we can even vote for. And people panic, I think, and just say, screw that. Not my ass. I'm playing my idol. But then again, does Leanna steal it from somebody? I mean, it could be a convoluted mess here next week, JD, which I don't know if it's something you want to hear or not.
I'm fine with it being a convoluted mess if it's entertaining and it's and it makes sense and it's just good TV. I am happy if, assuming she smashes it, that Xander would theoretically be safe, right? Because he would be part of the immune side,
right?
So I'm happy about that. I am. Move it, like, looking ahead. I like the little one-on-one with Nasir and Xander, two idol holders.
Yes.
I would love it if somehow they catch wind that Leanna has this power and then they give it away. You know what I mean? Like, they just give their idol away or some sort of play happens like that. But I mean, as far as the challenge goes, I thought that maybe it's the dad in me, but I was like, this seems dangerous. Like
standing on the ball.
Like when they were pushing it out of the hole, like if it rolled back down, like it just landed on somebody, I was like, this could be bad. This could be really bad. But I thought this challenge was good.
Yeah, no, I thought it was pretty entertaining, and I don't know if the editing made it seem like it was a little closer than it was. The Yellow Tribe got up there to the puzzle. Blue Tribe struggling at first, like they can't figure it out, and then it felt like Trey Ricard was like, oh, it's Merge Feast! Exclamation mark at the end, and he just got the dance of moving the puzzle pieces around, how you got to get them out of the way, and then he appeared to kill it. But again, I don't know how really close it was, but it was a somewhat of a valiant effort by that Yellow Tribe that had Tiffany and Heather on it, and it's like, ooh, yeah, the odds are stacked against them here. This could be a bloodbath, and it at least was down to the puzzle. So
it was down to the puzzle. Amazing. And I mean, Xander does come off looking great because he was a beast in that challenge. He literally carried that tribe up the thing pretty much. I've already said once that my downfall on Survivor, no doubt, will be puzzles. And to me, slide puzzles are the hardest ones to figure out, because not only do you have to get the clue, I think, like you said, even the Yellow Tribe, they got merge right away, right? They're like, merge! They knew that. They couldn't put the feast part together, though, because not only do you have to figure out what the puzzle is, you have to figure out how to move everything back and forth. Confusing.
Yeah, because there only looked to be I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 slots to move the piece up, JD, get it out of the way. Yeah, it was sort of an extra layered puzzle there, but great work there. Blue Tribe got it done. So they have to make the decision. Let's get to this part right here. And then we'll take a break and get into all the other things that did happen in this episode. But they have the decision to make of like, well, who are we sending to Exile Island? Are we sending Nasir? Are we sending Erika? They, of course, come to the agreement to send Erika. Now, Danny says it's because of paper, rock, scissors. He says paper, rock, scissors.
It's rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah,
I know.
Come on, Danny. I know. He said that twice, paper, rock, scissors.
Yeah.
And now he has me saying it. But yeah, it's definitely rock, paper, scissors. And if you start with scissors, that's even weirder.
Yeah, scissors. You cannot start with scissors. I'll accept paper because I'm with you. Like, now that I've heard it like 5 times, having listened to podcasts and hearing y'all say it, is that right? I don't know. I've lost my way. I might have to break an hourglass and go back to figure out how I used to pronounce it.
Yeah, so we don't see them do it, but that's the reasoning from Danny. What did you think of just going with Nasir to say, come on over, you're going to eat, you're going to be safe, and sending Erika from that blue tribe, JD? Were you shocked at all?
No, not shocked at all, because we know that Erika's on the bottom, and you like to celebrate with your buds, right? I mean, I don't think that there's going to be some kind of advantage. I mean, that must have factored into the discussion. Mm-hmm. I'm sure Evie was saying, yeah, but whoever we send is going to get an advantage, but they're like, well, he's our guy, so we want to bring him, so ultimately I guess the rest of them deferred. And I think Danny even said afterwards, like he just made that up on the spot, the paper, rock, scissors thing. Like he was just like,
he said that, but I was confused by that. They must have done paper, rock, scissors right there.
They didn't show their hands pumping and slapping.
It also doesn't make any sense. Like that's a terrible way to pick, right? Like, how do you do? Okay, you be Nasir and you be Erika.
That's
and,
how you do it.
Rock, paper, scissors. Really? But okay. I mean,
it
seems like a complicated way to do it.
When Danny said it, I thought he was telling them to play paper, rock, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. God damn it, Danny. And I was like, whoa, can you even do that? Like, you're basically saying we don't want to decide. We'll just let them decide by playing rock, paper, scissors. I don't think he would have been allowed to do that.
Maybe not. That would have been a smooth move, though.
That'd be very smooth. But of course, yeah, they said they did it. I'm led to believe they did it there in their little huddle. Like you said, JD, I'll be Nasir and you be Erika. And maybe they fudged it. Maybe they didn't. And then that was the reasoning why. But Danny's whole thing, too, is he's still worried about this girls' alliance, women alliance. And he wants to send a woman to Exile Island and keep, stronger, I guess, with Nasir by his side here as another male. He keeps bringing that up for a couple episodes in a row. I wonder that'd be his downfall or not. Just a few other things. I noticed this. I watched this twice. I can't believe I watched this episode of all of them twice. But a couple of little things I caught at this part here. Erika, when she's left behind. Okay, so the blue tribe, the winning tribe, they're pumped. Go get your food. They're off. And Jeff starts telling the yellow tribe, well, unfortunately, you guys don't get a buff. You don't get to eat. You're going to have to go in this immunity challenge here. And Erika, sorry, like you're going to Exile Island. You're going to be gone for 2 nights. Shan has a sincere apology to Erika. Like, she is crying. She has, like, tears in her eyes. Now, she might have tears in her eyes because they're not going to eat. So she's upset they lost this challenge, but it comes off as like a slick little move in just very quickly building a tiny little bond with Erika. Like just that emotional connection of like, this sucks. She says sorry to her.
When does that happen? As they're
they're packing up, grabbing their stuff, heading back. And like Erika's like left there alone. Little moment. And then another one I'll just flash forward that I saw from Shan. These are just tiny little things. When the winning tribe came back to the beach, back to camp, she's the first one up. Mm-hmm. She's super happy for them. She's hugging Sydney like she's a long-lost friend. It's like, man, you can see why this woman.
You can
is
see
so
why she's a
damn
fake
good.
manipulator.
I agree, Trey.
Well, then she's damn good at it, man.
I also think
Is she, if it's that blatant that she's faking this stuff to us on the TV, you don't think it plays off as disingenuous out there on the island?
I don't think she was faking the tears to Erika and like feeling bad. Again, I think she's upset that she's not eating and they lost. So it goes hand in hand with then let me just put this grief onto you as well. And I'm sorry that you also are going to have to go alone. I think that was real. Yeah. The one where they come back, that could have been fake. Sure.
To me, it's 100% gameplay with her. And I think everything is 100% gameplay with her. And you see the difference between like Shan and Nasir, because when Nasir was chose to get the feast, he was like, let's go, baby! That's not smart gameplay because that's just going to piss Erika off. I mean, obviously, he's thinking she's on the bottom, no big deal. We're going to get her anyways, but she's going to be mad, whereas Shan knows you got to play the game at all times. So she plays the game at all times.
Yeah.
JD,
anything that
I do agree with Trey. I think that the reunion or when they merge for the first time, I found that totally disingenuous.
Okay.
I thought it was she was laying it on really thick, but the Erika thing, I didn't catch that. But I also think that Shan's losing it a little bit because she, I'm sure we'll get into it after the break, but she made a couple of mistakes.
Yeah.
And I think she's just at her wit's end, and it's food and fatigue and just paranoia is starting to take its toll on Shan.
Well, that is a perfect time to take our first break. Yeah, we'll get into Shan and Ricard. Their scene that kicked off this episode and the mistake I think you're alluding to, JD, that maybe she made in this one. We'll get to that after a quick break to hear from our sponsors. Guys, I've compiled a list of 3 activities that are better at home. First up, sleeping in your own bed. That is obvious. Of course, you're comfortable with your mattress, your pillows, and, you stay in a hotel or somebody else's house and room. It's like, yeah, usually there's something off. Secondly, something better at home, I would say socializing, throwing a party. Now, you may push back on that. You may say, what? You got to clean up after your own party at your house. Ooh. That's true, but also I can get really drunk when I'm throwing the party at my own house. I don't got to worry about getting from here to there. Once you're gone, I can stay up all night. This is my house. So I would add that to the list. And then finally, what about working on your bod? Yeah. Some people don't like the gym. It's intimidating. I don't even know what half of these machines do. It's a little stinky at times. You just do it at home in the comfort of your own home. That is nice. And Peloton delivers that workout experience that you'd never imagine was possible right in your own home. And now I'm at the part of this ad read where I'm supposed to make it my own, talk about my personal experience with the product.
Let's hear about it.
Yeah, dog, let's go.
I can't. I don't have a Peloton or access to the classes. But you know what? It doesn't even matter. Because all I've heard people talk about over the last 24 months is how much they love their Peloton. Cass, always talking about it. Trey, talking about taking the classes. Graydon Gordian, you'll hear him on No Breaks. I know he's got a Peloton. Even a girl I had a crush on in high school I saw on Instagram's got a new Peloton set up in the garage. She's loving that lifestyle. So I don't even need to do it. It's like osmosis. I feel like I'm a part of the Peloton crew. So they want me to tell you which music-themed class or artist collaboration really got me moving. I don't know. Who's on there, Trey?
Oh, Aditi just did a Beyonce yoga. Banger.
That's my favorite. Peloton wants to know which different class types I've switched between for a full workout. Tass, you've ever switched between workouts?
Oh, sure. I'd do some boot camps where you're doing a little run, then you get on the mat, switching on all times.
Oh my God, I love that. Peloton says, tell your audience how the community and the live high fives motivate you. Tass was just talking about that. That actually sounds pretty fun. I love a high five. So that's a cool little virtual high five. With the Peloton bike, there's nothing like working out from home, but you don't have to take my word for it, nor should you. Again, I don't have this. Learn more at onepeloton.com. New members can try Peloton classes free for 30 days at onepeloton.com/app. Terms apply. That's ONEPELOTON.com.
Every time somebody calls Grammarly Premium GP, I start thinking about that one Kirk Franklin song, Stomp, that got really big like in the early 2000s. Remember that song, Skeets?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I do remember that.
At the end, you remember he's just, he's ad-libbing the whole time. GP, are you with me?
Yeah.
They were with them. And guess what? GP can be with you, too, by subscribing to Grammarly Premium. With GP, you're safe from embarrassing spelling, grammar, and punctuation mistakes. Plus, Grammarly Premium's advanced time-saving features help you write more clearly and efficiently. You can streamline your workload with seamless integration into Microsoft Office, your internet browser, your phone, and more. Cut down on editing time and write more confidently with Grammarly Premium. Right now, you can get 20% off Grammarly Premium by signing up at grammarly.com/nodunks. That's 20% off at GRAMMARLY.com/nodunks.
All right, back with No Buffs, breaking down episode 6 from Survivor 41. Take a second, hit that like button. Really appreciate it. The live tribe joining us here live on YouTube. Okay, is it controversial to say, JD, that everything else that happened in this episode was actually better than the semi-merge and the Erika twist? Because I think we had some great things going on out there.
I totally agree. I don't think it's controversial at all.
Okay, good. Because this one started with a banger. We got an exchange between Shan and Ricard. Kicked off the episode. Shan said she couldn't trust Ricard. Ricard said it was fucked up that Shan came up to him 5 minutes before Tribal, asking for her extra vote back. Shan said it was bothersome he wouldn't give it back. Ricard then countered that Shan just wanted all the power, and Shan pointed out that she took all the risk. Shout out to Dalton Ross for breaking that down so perfectly, I would say. Ricard eventually hands the advantage back, but Trey, I mean, we were almost praying for the two of these heavyweights to start to turn on each other a little bit more, and this was a heated exchange, especially the one at night right after Tribal Council, because they can't see each other. It's pitch black. They're lying down having this argument. And I actually think that made it more volatile because, when you're looking at each other in the face, you probably tone it down a bit, but they're just like talking into the air about how angry they are with each other. I thought it was awesome. I love this.
Yeah, great exchange, but way too much drama over this extra vote. Like, this extra vote has been the briefcase from Pulp Fiction. Like, everybody's dying around this thing as they keep trying to track it down. I thought this was a mistake on both parts. I think the original mistake would probably be Ricard. Either give it back to her immediately, like you said you were going to. Keep the trust. Y'all are solidified going into whatever merge event we're going to happen. That's one way to go. Or flip it. I'm keeping this. I am not giving it back. Trust over alliance. Done with. We're going our separate ways when we get to this merge event. Instead, he tried to tiptoe it. He tried to talk her into letting him get to keep this thing that she found, that she earned, that she risked for. And to me, it was like, now you've broken the trust and you have to still try and repair it. It just seemed completely a botch from Ricard. From that standpoint, like, go either way with this way. Don't try and tiptoe in the middle and then give it back at the end. I just thought that was such a strange thing. As for Shan, just let him have it. Like, who cares at this point? I don't think it's going to make that big of a deal. Also, wouldn't it be nice to have a locked-in ally going forward? I would think so, but clearly it feels to me that they are both ready to flip on each other, and it's going to be a matter of who gets who first.
Yeah, JD, what did you think of Ricard ultimately giving it back, like Trey said, and Shan like really wanting it back? Like, she is like, I think Tyson compared her to Gollum with like the ring from Lord of the Rings. Like, she for some reason has to have this extra vote. And I know a deal's a deal, but yeah, maybe moving forward, if you guys are that tight, maybe it's the best for everybody. If you've got the idol and he's got the extra vote. But what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what Trey's saying, although I will say that maybe Ricard was just trying to finesse her a little, like trying to convince her to, hey, let me keep it. We are now a tribe of two. We're going into a merge. We would be so much stronger if we both had quote unquote advantage, although an extra vote is that much of an advantage. I mean, it seems like a curse at this point. But yeah, and I think you're exactly right, Trey. Like, Shan should just be like, okay, you have it. You're right. You did say you were going to give it back to me, but as a show of trust and good faith, us going in, we got to be too strong going into this merge because we're going to be on the bottom. We are a tribe of two. I mean, it's from their perspective at that moment in time, there's no way that they can't believe that they wouldn't be at the very bottom of the merge, right? Of everybody coming together. So, but yeah, I think that again, I said it before the break. I think Shan's losing it a bit. I think paranoia is getting to her. But ultimately, as Trey said, I mean, you said you were going to give it back to me after the vote. We did the vote. So just give it back to me. And then he ended up giving it back. Yeah. So why all the drama? Why, other than to make a point maybe, or again, to try to finesse her and get her to just give it to him. So, yeah.
Well, she did say, if we find another one, you get that one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, thanks for giving me permission.
So much if I was Ricard. Oh, thank you. Great. Really? Oh, that's nice to know. Shannon confessional too, not to his face, but to us. She said, Ricard's been my number one since day one. If you feel like you're with me, you should feel safe, you know. To which I say, should you?
Yeah, really?
I would say absolutely don't feel safe. Beef Walton thought you guys were good. He gone. JD obviously thought you guys were good. He gone, and you took all his shit. And then JD felt pretty damn safe too with you. So I think Ricard's got a point here that when I'm your number one, maybe that's not the greatest spot to be in. Oh, last week too, guys. Remember I was saying, I'm convinced, even though it's not happening, that the editors are splicing in shots of snakes when Ricard starts talking. It happened on this one. It absolutely happened, because this argument between the two of them at night after Tribal Council, night 11, I think it was, it spills into the morning of day 12, where they're still arguing over this thing. And, that morning shot, they show a snake, slithering around, and then they cut to them still arguing. So is that snake for Shan or is that snake for Ricard? I'm not sure. But I couldn't believe that it took me, at least, maybe you guys noticed, it took me until episode 6 of this season to realize Ricard has a snake tattoo on his arm there. It's like coming up under his buff there. There are other shots of it where you can see it. I was like, whoa. You may want to put some makeup on that when you're playing Survivor. I don't think you should have a snake tattoo on you.
That's why he's got the buff, a half covering it.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah. So
this guy, wow, now that you mention that, Ricard looks like a straight up Slytherin. Put that back up, JD. He's dressed in green. God, yeah. He's got gray hair and a snake tattoo. If he starts speaking parcel tongue, they need to get him out of here.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with these two. Again, we've thought for a while now, at some point, somebody's going to take a shot, because the trust is like, it's just not there. They don't trust each other. They've proven that. She has to have everything. He's like, come on, just trust me. We're good. And then she's like, I can't trust you because you said you're going to give it back and you just wouldn't just give it back. I have to plead for it back. So yeah, I can't wait to see though.
Well, do you think that she's moved on at this point? I mean, it sort of felt like it, but in the end, he did give the vote back, right? So he did do what she asked of him. And if you look back, he has been trustworthy to her. I mean, he never betrayed her in any way.
No.
In fact, he's helped her. So, I mean, I think you're right. And I'm looking forward to the confrontation between the two of them. But I think they could still work together. But, I wouldn't, from Shan's point of view, I don't think that Ricard, she should feel that Ricard is not trustworthy at this point. I mean, yeah, they had a fight, but he did what she asked of him. So,
well, now that they're at the merge, those two, for at least a couple episodes, votes, just lay low.
Yeah.
Don't, I know if you guys are going to war, sure, start getting your soldiers in order. And it looks like Shan's doing that. My goodness, she's building a hell of a team, and we'll get to her alliance in a second here. I don't know really what Ricard's doing yet, but just don't do it now. There's more targets. There's a lot more going on. I think you just being the two of you is probably beneficial if these cracks in Luvu are to be believed and whatever else is going on. So I think that would be their best play, but we'll see. Someone's going to panic first. And it's either like Ricard's either going to like tell somebody and try and get a team together that she has too much and she's winning this game. Like that's going to be his case.
Oh yeah.
Like she's winning the game, guys. So if we get a chance, we have to take her out. Okay. And then Shan's whole thing is, well, I know he's probably going to come for me and let's just get him. And I'm good with other people now, Liana, and what appears to be, and very exciting, this Black Contestants Alliance. They had a talk. Shan, Liana, Danny, and Deshawn. They get together, Trey, and say, hey, this is pretty cool. There's usually only 1 or 2 Black people on this show. It's actually a diverse cast. There's 4 of us. Maybe we should, have each other's back. Deshawn says we'd be foolish not to work with each other. So it at least appears to us that they're going to try and make this work. There's almost a quote from every one of them. Like, oh yeah, this would be sort of cool. This would be awesome. What'd you think of this?
I thought it was actually super powerful to see the joy on all of their faces when they were doing their confessional about possibly being able to team up and be the first all-Black alliance. I thought that was really cool. And honestly, if they do team up together, this is going to be a powerful alliance. You would think they've got the extra vote and the idol from Shan. They've got the knowledge is power advantage from Liana. And then they've got, the challenge strength and the big time numbers advantage brought from the Luvu tribe with Danny and Deshawn. So
Deshawn has an extra vote too that everybody's forgotten about.
Yeah. Yes. I 100% forgot that is in play, but I don't know. I thought it was a cool scene. And I thought that, I don't know, like for me, the very first alliance in Survivor history is an all-white alliance, right? Like Richard Hatch's alliance in Survivor season 1. And that's kind of been the case for 40 seasons of Survivor. Now we have new casting rules on behalf of CBS to make the show more representative of what America is like.
Yeah.
And I felt it was just very cool to see them teaming up. And then I was also like, if they do team up, this is going to be quite the squad here. 4 strong, if they're able to keep that with all the advantages they have and the relationships that they've already built, they're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, JD, what'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, exactly everything that Trey just said. And I love all of these players. So it's going to be great to see them work together. And now that we are in a merge situation, it's just great to see them mix it up and we'll see where we go with it. But
do you think it will last?
I don't. That's what I was just about to say. They're all such good players.
Yeah.
And they're all very powerful players. As you just listed all of the advantages that they individually have. I mean, and this is a game of big moves. So we'll see. I mean, this is Survivor. All alliances, it's great to see them come together and it's great to see them fall apart. So we'll see what happens.
It's also great, especially around a merge, that you need the numbers, of course. There are only 4 people. So that's not enough with 12 in theory still there. But if those 4 stay tight and then they pull in, the 3 other people they would need, or even 2 other people, let's say they would need because they have all these extra votes. You just keep them on the outskirts. You have to have basically the alliance within the alliance is what I'm getting at here. And so they could be set up pretty nicely for that. Like if Ricard is still good with Shan, there's one. Nasir seems really good. Of course, with Danny and Deshawn, there's another. That's 6 already. You get one more or you don't. And you could be looking pretty here. Just for those that I don't think you guys are Big Brother fans. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Nah.
Yeah. I actually didn't watch this last season. I had watched a couple of years running there, but for whatever reason, I guess I hadn't watched the last 2. But I do know that this summer, 6 Black contestants formed an alliance on Big Brother called the Cookout, and they just ran through the competition and just ousted everyone else. Got to the end, and basically most people think one of the most dominant alliances ever. So we'll see if that somewhat happens again here on Survivor. And I'm with you, JD. I love all 4 of these people. So
yeah.
God, go! I'll be cheering for him, especially if like Nasir's in the mix there too, and Ricard. Like I love those 2 guys too. Could be a really fun squad. But who knows with Survivor? Okay, back to Shan. The mistake, JD. Why don't you set it up? What's the mistake you think she made in this one?
For me, the mistake she made was asking Leanna about her advantage right in front of Tiffany. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Is that what you were thinking?
That's exactly what I had written down. Was that just a brain fart? Was that just...
She was trying to brag is what she was doing. She came in and said, I didn't play it so you could get that advantage, is what she said to her face. She was taking credit for Leanna getting an advantage. And I thought that was like the incredible hubris on Shan's behalf to try and take credit for a move on another tribe's beach. That was crazy to me. I was like, you're getting a little too full of yourself in this respect, Shan.
Yeah, but even if she had just done that to Liana, okay, a little weird. I'm with you. But the fact she did it in front of Tiffany was the real error. And, Liana was like, well, why are you saying this? She doesn't know.
Right.
I know everybody tells everybody everything on this season, but that was one thing I actually didn't tell everybody. And now, now she knows. Go ahead, Gina.
Right. Yeah. And I think that you're absolutely right, Trey. And she's also, she's in an alliance. Shan is in an alliance with Tiffany, so maybe she's just making the assumption that, Leanna is now part of our alliance or whatever. But huge blowing up Leanna's spot. I think that, Shan is still in her confessional saying, I had such a bonding moment with her. And I do believe that bonding moment was real. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I think that they genuinely like each other. But if I'm Leanna, I'm going, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're blowing up my game over here. We just met. We had a nice moment, but we just met and we're trying to play Survivor here. So I think that hurt her, hurt the alliance with her. And Leanna, unfortunately, she was put on the spot. So I can't blame her for this, but she could have just said, nah, I didn't get it. I played it safe. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if you were going to, I didn't want to give up my vote or anything. And if she had done that, then, and then she could have done that. And Shan would have been like, I thought he had a moment or whatever, but I get it. You wanted to play it safe. And then that vote, the advantage, this really, really powerful advantage would have remained a secret. Like no one would have known about it. So,
yeah. Also, I guess there was a move where Liana could have just lied to Tiff and just said, I got an advantage. It's an extra vote.
Right.
Like just downplay whatever the advantage is. But instead she told her everything. And
did she say everything about it?
She told her that she can take she can take the whole idol thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, she knows the power of knowledge. Tiffany has the power of knowledge now of the
I didn't catch that. This is great because now Xander's going to find out. And I think we're going to see here, hold my idol for me.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I hope that there's going to be a shell game of idols at Tribal Council. And I'm here for it.
There was a couple of great theories on Survivor Reddit, and one of them is that now Tiffany, knowing about Liana's knowledge is power advantage, goes to Xander and says, give me your idol. I'll hold on to it. I can play it for you. That would be awesome. And also, there are a lot of people who were suggesting that Shan said this to Liana to drive Liana and Tiffany apart, because now Tiffany's like, whoa, I can't trust Liana. And Liana's like, now Tiffany doesn't think she can trust me. Maybe I need to go with Tiffany. Maybe I definitely need to go with Shan now that Tiffany is not on my side. Right. That would be a next level move by Shan.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think that's giving a little too much credit to Shan here. I don't think that was the case. I think it was either she's just thinking they're tight enough, or just a brain fart of the like, let's talk about this. That was a fun thing that happened, a bonding moment. And hey, now you got that. Like what is it? How cool is it? And it's like, oh yeah, Tiffany's right here. Whoops. Mom's standing right here. Yeah. Did love Tiffany's. I knew you had it. I knew you had it. The finger play killed me. The class. Pretty funny. How she
played it pretty smooth. I thought.
She did.
Like, I knew you had it. I would have done the exact same thing too. Liana then went on to say that Tiffany is a threat in this game, which, considering where she came from, I think is surprising. But I also don't disagree. Like, people seem to like Tiffany. She does seem to be pretty funny. I would have liked her to play to the camera even a little bit more in that one. Would have been very funny to see again. But I don't know. It feels like her standing in the game has certainly improved.
I love the theory that you guys are bringing up. This shell game theory of like, yeah, try and move the idol off somebody that Liana thinks has it, and then therefore she's going to strike out on trying to get it. Flip it on its head, though. Is there any way that they could amplify the power of knowledge? What I mean by that is, could Liana work with Shan, maybe even Tiffany for crying out loud, and threaten one of the guys that has the idol? So Nasir or Xander, the two males that have one, Shan has the third one. Could they like almost go? And I don't think Liana could technically do it, maybe because of the paperwork that she's not allowed. But like, could Shan go? Let's say, hear me out. Could Shan go to Xander and say, "We're gonna take your idol. Okay, I know what's going on here. Your idol's gonna be taken at Tribal Council. Give it to me. Let me hold it, and we will take Nasir out instead. Like, we will go to the other one."
Wow.
Basically, say the power they have. Again, I don't think Liana could technically do it. I wonder if by proxy someone else could. Like, is that the workaround that Shan or Tiff could do it? You know, would that be legal? Could you scare one of the guys in giving it up, and you're gonna say like, "We'll give it back" or whatever, like whatever move you come up with or whatever scheme you come up with, and then somehow what I'm getting at is get both of them from them by scaring the other one into like, okay, well, I don't want to lose it at Tribal Council, so okay, I'll give it to you, and you'll say you give it back. Okay, cool. And then maybe
sounds like a job for Shan.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a Ricard plan. First off,
It
so you may
does.
want to get him involved. He might think up something like that, and then sounds like a plan for Shan.
And what's the end game in this scheme? It's convince Xander to give up his idol,
Sure.
and then just vote Xander out.
Sure. I mean,
Oh man.
or
don't do it,
or,
Xander.
or hold on. I mean, get the idol from one of them. Say you're
Yeah.
going to give it back.
Yeah.
Screw the other one that has the idol at Tribal Council. Take it from them with Liana's power of knowledge. You now have it. See you later, that person. And then we're not giving it back to you.
Yeah, I can't see either of those players falling.
I don't even know
for
if they could do this. I'm just like spitballing.
it. Why not? Well, of course you could try, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody gives you an idol, they're giving you an idol, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, that's interesting. I'd be like, well, if you're going to take it, just go ahead and take it at Tribal Council. Use your advantage and take it. Like,
yeah, true.
but,
I don't know. We've seen crazier things happen. I think it was on Tyson's podcast too that someone called in with, what if someone has a fake idol that they think is a real idol, and Liana were to ask that person that holding the fake idol, "Do you have an idol?" That person thinks it's real and goes, "Damn, sorry, I do." And here you go. Like, what happens in that scenario?
Okay, I hope that happens.
That'd be amazing.
Does this knowledge's power, does it have to be played at a Tribal Council?
yes.
Okay, that's the only way it possibly makes sense.
Hold on. I said that with a lot
No,
of
I
confidence,
think you're right.
and-
I think
and
you're
I'm
right.
not sure.
It does.
I feel like you have to have Jeff around to like oversee how this is all going
Yeah.
down. You know, like you sit down, you pull out the thing, you've got the documentation. I'm allowed to ask this one question. I'm asking to you. Jeff chimes in. You have to answer this one truthfully.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see. Hopefully it plays out soon. You know, there
Yeah.
have been so many advantages we've seen so far. None of them played.
Yeah. No.
Right? Like
Well,
we talk
none
so
of-
much about advantages. None of them have been played at all yet.
And
And just
hold on.
talking about them.
Nobody can roll the die anymore, too, right? That's done.
Ooh, I think you're right.
I think it's done. So nobody
it?
did that. I think so. I don't know. People in the live tribe, let us know.
Yeah.
Jeff just walking around with dice in his pocket.
Um,
Nobody wants these.
A few other random notes here that I wanted to share with you guys. I took some screen grabs for some of this. Back to just Erika on Exile Island. I loved her trying to smile through it all when she was arriving to Exile Island, talking to the camera, saying, "Here's my tropical vacation resort." like literally trying to smile it through it. Like she's like gritting her teeth. They're like, "Oh, this isn't that bad."
She's a walking, talking grimace emoji. Like,
Yeah.
she's like,
God
here
bless
I
her.
am.
Oh, I love that. Just again, trying to make the best of a pretty, at the time before Probe showed up, a horrible situation where she's not there and looks like she's not going to be, eating, of course, and might be going to Tribal Council and down on the bottom. Sticking with her, we did get like a little bit of her backstory and her parents being Filipino and coming to Canada and her growing up with them. I couldn't believe it, JD. We got a blurred out Harvey's. Shout out to Canada. That's a Harvey's logo on that cup. Burger chain in Canada. I got so excited, JD.
Oh yeah, Erika just enjoyed that meal, whatever she had. That is a look of a satisfied young woman who just enjoyed one of Canada's finest fast food. Whatever she had, chicken nuggets or burger or whatever she had.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you order at a Harvey's?
Well, Harvey's, I think, is known for the square burger, wasn't it?
No, that's a Wendy's.
That's a Wendy's. Are you sure? Oh, okay.
They're known for their char-broiled.
Oh, that's what it is.
Burgers. They're actually on a char. That would always say char-broiled.
Oh.
And it's owned by Cara Foods, which owns Swiss Chalet. So the fries are the same. They're Swiss Chalet fries,
yes,
which are like hand-cut fries, sort of. But if the Canadian fast food it's pretty high up there for me.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, was it not similar in a way to like a Subway or a Chipotle, where like they were making your burger in front of you too? I think was the whole thing.
Correct.
Like,
I think before Subway even they brought they were the originators of the build your own sandwich kind of thing. And you could put whatever you wanted on it.
Yeah, that's right there. Like you're pointing at the thing. Yeah, throw some tomatoes on there.
More pickles.
Yeah,
more pickles. More.
Erika would have been throw more rice. More white rice on that. She seemed to enjoy that. Can't blame her. I'm not eating a lot out there.
No.
Couple other random notes. Nasir. We said how pumped he was when he got chosen. Yeah. Like, come on, man. You want to tone that down a little bit. But then we got a confessional of him. Maybe he had already just eaten, but he's got his buff. He was pumped. He dropped like a woohoo at one point. And he was excited about the buff color. Trey, also a fan of this. I don't know. Is this red or pink? It's sort of pink to me. But
yeah, it's
not pink.
I saw it as red watching it last night as well, but definitely pink undertones. Yeah, I'm in on this. Sure. I just appreciate Nazir's whole vibe, man. It's like everybody else is there talking strategy, and he's like, "This rocks. This is sick.
This is sick, man."
He's not wrong.
That's good.
Yeah,
he did. Going back to when he was chosen to go on the feast. Side note: worst merge feast ever. Right? Like cold cuts.
Yeah, it didn't look amazing.
It wasn't great. A couple of beers and some cold cuts, but
anyway, chicken. They had a bunch.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you're right. It didn't look. The spread didn't look as fabulous as it normally does. And only half of them got it. But anyways, when he Trey, you mentioned it before when he was like, "Yes, I'm in. That you picked me." I was expecting him to at least turn around and say, "I'm sorry, Erika."
Nope.
Like no awareness in that in terms of that, right? Like, which I think helped Erika realize just how on the bottom she was.
Yeah.
Like, not even Nasir could turn around and say, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to have a feast now. Enjoy Exile Island or whatever we're calling it. Which could be a little foreshadowing into what Nasir's downfall could potentially be, like just a sort of unawareness and not playing a political game or a diplomatic game, I should say.
Yeah, I laughed both times he said "bro" to Xander too. I don't know why, because I think in looking at the two of them, you're thinking Xander of the two of them is going to be the one dropping bros, but it's Nasir going, "I got you, bro." I love that for some reason. He is. I hope he doesn't go home like in a thing where he's playing in this.
Oh man,
because she breaks it. Now they're playing, and then he's just like ultimately voted out. Oh, that would be horrible. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Yeah. And just final note here, like random one. Did you guys notice in a Sydney confessional later in the show that her face was all scraped up?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah.
And it was weird because right before this confessional, she's walking, at camp with, off the top of my head, like Tiffany and somebody else, like they're talking, and she's totally fine. But so it happened. It appeared to have happened after the challenge, of course, after a merge feast had happened, and then she suddenly has this on her face.
This is going to happen at the next challenge, I bet. I bet this confessional was taken or this portion was taken. I can't remember what she was saying in this one, but
it wasn't much if I remember, but yeah. Okay.
Unless it's a fishing accident or something, because we know she's fishing out there, and but yeah, it probably happens in the next one. So
you think? So that only leads us to believe even more that Erika's smashing this thing.
Oh yeah,
Sydney's competing in this individual immunity challenge. Maybe bites it somehow on the face.
Sure, I'm throwing that out.
Okay, I'll buy that. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Maybe unless I don't remember any other scene where she had this scrape on her face.
Yeah.
So
I noticed that too.
Future. So this scrape face was post feast.
It was post feast, at least in the edit. Yeah, like in the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting, because you can see. I mean, I don't think she would have been the one to get her face stepped on during that challenge with the human ladder. I guess it could have happened. That looked like a rough challenge for sure. But if she didn't have it at the feast, then when did it happen? It could be out of order.
I think, and maybe the live tribe can correct me if I'm wrong. At the feast, she appears fine. Again, back when they're at the beach all together, everybody's hugging and all that, she appears fine. So yeah, I'm buying your theory here, JD. Maybe they have to balance something above their head, like on a big pole 10 feet in the air, and it pops her in the face here.
Could be. It looks like they're on water though.
Where did you see that? I didn't even notice that.
In the coming up next week. It
felt
like they were on a platform over water.
Okay,
that doesn't mean that they don't end up on the land, but I don't think it's going to be an endurance challenge. Okay. What I'm saying, but I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll figure out how she gets that scrape to the face there, Sydney. Okay, we're gonna take one more.
Hold on, one last note. I gotta say, just because it didn't come up, also didn't get a screen grab of it because I couldn't go back and watch this one twice.
Should have asked you to grab it for you.
Yeah, I should have. I feel like I'm a little fuzzy on some of the details with regards to Erika's hourglass because I was laughing so hard when Jeff handed her a sledgehammer. It's glass on rocks, buddy. It would break pretty easily, but they gave her like a 14-inch sledgehammer to smash this thing. I guess it's got to be dramatic.
The weirder part to me was Probst turning the hourglass on its side.
Put it on its side.
Why?
It was so confusing. It's honestly, like, I get the hourglass, like this is the time that has passed, but then I was expecting it to flip over or something, we're going to see the sand. You have this much time, but it was just like, no, you're just going to put it on its side, which you never see. You never see an hourglass on its side. And then he hands her the shillelagh. It looked like a shillelagh. Ever see a shillelagh?
Totally shillelagh. You're going to need this.
Shillelagh lace with a pretty face. All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, some great questions in Tree Mail.
Yeah, it's my favorite sound system and my favorite palindrome. Sonos.
Ooh. Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, it looks so cool on the logo. Anyway, they sent me a Sonos Beam, which is their compact soundbar for TV, but we use it for music and podcasts as well. And when it arrived, I obviously dropped everything, hooked it up to the TV, which is a total breeze. There's only 2 cables, and there's automatic remote detection. Which is pretty handy and very cool because you don't have to set up your TV remote or anything. And then I added it to the family. And that's the coolest thing about Sonos for me. You can start with 1 speaker and then expand over time. And all Sonos speakers are wirelessly connect over Wi-Fi. So you can group speakers in different rooms and play music throughout your home and different music in different rooms and stuff. We have 6 Sonos devices around the house. And as you know, I've named them all. Mr. Carlson, LeVar Burton, Coach Steve, the Olsen twins, Mo Verney, and now the Beam, which we're calling Dev Allahan, who is the character from Coronation Street that I'm supposed to be, according to a quiz that I took. But anyway,
you've got the same road.
I was just gonna say that, Chas. That shirt is identical to the road.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it's we have similar taste, no doubt. Anyway, I immediately put on a movie, one that has my one of my all-time favorite sound mixes. I'm not going to say what it is because it's a bit embarrassing. suffice it to say, I was amazed. Sounds great. I can't believe the sound that comes out of this thing. But to say that the sound comes out is not quite accurate, because the sound just sort of fills the room. And that's the Dolby Atmos at work, which maps sounds in space for a 3D effect. So you feel those planes flying overhead, or footsteps moving across your room, or the music completely surrounds you. And as I said, control is easy. You can use the Sonos app. You can use your TV remote, Apple AirPlay 2, or your voice with Amazon Alexa or Google Assistant, neither of which I've used. Is there a better one? Is there a good one out there? Because I'm ready to be spied on.
My Google Assistant tells me once a week to water my orchids.
Hey, that's pretty
Nice.
Pretty handy. All right.
I didn't set the reminder, though.
Ooh.
Whoa.
And I only have one orchid.
Oh, it's watching you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it knows.
I don't know. That's kind of cool. I don't care that I'm being spied on. I gotta try Google Assistant. Anyways, I love Sonos. I'm loving my Beam, a.k.a. Dev Allahan. I highly recommend it. If you want to know more, visit Sonos.com.
It's Halloween on Sunday, and if you're looking for something to do while waiting for trick-or-treaters, maybe you could try shopping for life insurance with Policy Genius. Get free quotes while giving out free candy. Just go easy on the Kit Kats. Policy Genius makes it easy to compare quotes from over a dozen top insurers all in one place. You could save 50% or more on life insurance.
Oh, come on. No.
Okay. By comparing quotes with Policy Genius, you can save $1,300 or more per year on life insurance by using Policy Genius to compare policies. The licensed experts at Policy Genius work for you. I can't believe it. Not the insurance company, so you can trust them to help you navigate every step of the shopping
Of the ad read.
of the shopping and buying process. And eligible applicants can get covered in as little as a week thanks to an award-winning policy option that swaps the standard doesn't help the standard medical exam requirement with a simple phone call. This exclusive policy was recently rated #1 by Forbes Advisor.
This one's sloppy.
Higher than options from Ladder, Ethos, and Bestow. Getting started is easy. First, head to policygenius.com. In minutes, you can work out how much life insurance coverage you need and compare personalized quotes to find your best price. When you're ready to apply, the Policy Genius team will handle the paperwork and scheduling for free. Policy Genius doesn't add on extra fees. Head to policygenius.com to get started right now. Policy Genius. When it comes to insurance, it's nice to get it right.
Good ending.
Nice to get it right.
Wow. Yeah, that was a little treat for the live tribe. That was a Policy Genius ad read from Lily earlier this week. We had to keep it. Policy Genius ended up loving it. They called it top 3 ad reads of all time. So it's just as funny listening back the second time.
Pause when he realizes that the last line he's going to read is it's nice to get it right. It's so funny to me.
Oh, it's good. That's good. I really started laughing here the second time listening and watching that back when JD starts laughing. Like even JD starts giggling away. Oh, great stuff there. Okay, before we wrap this bad boy up, tree mail time. A couple great questions that some of you sent in. Doug G. He's been killing it here on No Bus. He always has great questions. He says, you can smash an hourglass and reverse one event in Survivor history. What do you choose, and what do you think changes afterward? Trey, what do you got for this? This is a tough question.
This might be a strange answer, but give me the shillelagh. I'm busting the hourglass, and I'm going back to right after Survivor Worlds Apart, season 30, Dirty 30. And I'm going into a production meeting and I'm saying, do not cancel the Survivor auction. We haven't had a Survivor auction since Worlds Apart, basically because players stopped going for food and just wanted to go for advantages. In season 30, Shireen convinced everybody to chip in and only go $20 for their letters, because that's a big thing at this Survivor auction. You would be able to get love from home is what it would call it off of me, a letter or maybe like a little video message or something like that. But Shireen said, but in the past, Jeff had done it where like whoever has the high bid pays $300. And if everybody else has $300 left, hey, you're getting your letter from home. Cool stuff. That was nice times. But basically Shireen figured out, hey, if the winning bid is $20, we all got $20, then we can save our money for the advantages afterwards. And Jeff did not like that because it got rid of all of the drama at the Survivor auction. But that's a bummer because the Survivor auction is actually awesome. There are so many funny parts in it, funny reveals. In Micronesia, Natalie wins a covered item, but it's fruit bat soup. No interest in fruit bat soup. But then James chimes in. I'll eat it. Yep. Gets a free bowl of soup, which was really nice for him. Cagayan is also a very funny one, thanks to Wu. Has one of my all-time favorite Survivor lines when he's watching Jeffra eat. Ooh, get a fat dip of that guac. That's the one that's always stuck with me since watching that. But I went back and watched the Survivor auction from that season from Cagayan. It's a pretty good one. And honestly, that's not even the best Wu moment. This one is. Take a look.
Go for it. Tender, juicy, lathered in barbecue. Flavorful.
Easy, Wu.
Wow. Woohoo.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. Wu was horny for ribs.
Oh, totally.
As was
My
Jeff. But man, there are so many great moments. Anytime somebody's given like just an amount of time to eat food is very funny. They're like, you got 2 minutes, eat as much as you want. Another great one is Micronesia. 4 women are just destroying a gigantic chocolate cake. They only get to eat it for like 60 seconds, so they're just smashing it into their faces. Their hands are obviously covered in cake. And Eric chimes in, he's like, $40 to lick your fingers.
Yeah.
Can you imagine licking somebody's fingers after like 30 days of not being able to wash your body just to get some chocolate sauce
I would do
in
it.
your mouth?
I would do it for sure. Fingers, yeah.
Finger licking good. $40 to lick Cerie's fingers. There's been a lot of great stuff at the Survivor auctions, but to me, they got to bring it back. And the easy fix is like, don't put advantages in or hide them or don't tell them that they're going to be in there. Basically, they could easily bring them back at this point now that they've been gone for 11 seasons, and you could probably get some of the drama back just by not going so advantage heavy.
Wow, I can't believe that is the last time we've had it.
Yeah.
You said
It's
season
been a while,
That is crazy. It feels like it's not that long ago, but wow, that's a good one. JD, same question. What are you smashing that hourglass and reversing here, Survivor history?
Yeah, I thought, well, mine's gameplay related, and it's back Heroes versus Villains, where Tyson accidentally votes himself out. Do you remember this?
Not really.
It was the plan. The villains went to tribal. The plan was for them to vote Parvati and Russell Hance equally, 3 and 3. One of them would have an idol. They suspected one of them would have an idol, as I remember, and they what ended up happening is that Tyson was like, at the very last second, changed his vote. He was supposed to vote for Russell. Russell said to him, convinced him basically, you know what, I'm going to vote for Parvati. Let's get rid of Parvati because she's such a huge threat. And he was like, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to vote for Parvati. And I think Courtney, there was an article afterwards that basically she said, I tried to convince him not to do it. And he does it. And he had, then Parvati plays an idol and then he goes home. So it was just a stupid mistake from a great player. And I think that he would have had a great chance to win that season if he had just not made that mistake and not been so impatient to get rid of Harvey. And what a brilliant move by Russell to basically convince him to say, "Hey, I'm voting for Harvey," and or whatever he ended up voting for Tyson and got rid of him. So
yeah, Elmer is saying here in the live tribe, yeah, Tyson changed vote. It went 4-3-2. Idle canceled the 4 votes. And,
exactly.
That does ring a bell now. Yeah. Ooh,
brutal.
Yeah, there's so many. I mean, I'm not gonna waste another 15 minutes here going through all the things you would like to change because of a favorite player and stuff like that. That'd make a great podcast for sure. You know, the Hourglass podcast, where we can just go back and reverse a move.
What about one single winner you would change, Skeets, if you were gonna hourglass it and give the win to somebody else?
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. A lot of the ones that I would have liked the person to have won, I also like the other person they were sitting with, like, you know, like Wendell and Dom. Like,
sure.
Would I be upset if Dom won? No, but I like where Wendell won. Same with Yule and Ozzy, if I have that correct. You know, I think Ozzy would always been a fascinating win in the sense of like, wow, that guy like really just like challenged beast his way to the end, and because he was like such a provider and stuff like that. But then I love Yule, and I think he's one of the greatest players ever. So that's difficult. And then look, you know, would you have liked Russell Hantz to have won the game? Or is it better that he didn't because it's his ultimate flaw is that he doesn't really create bonds with people that ultimately end up voting for him? It's almost better that way. Like, he's an amazing player, incredible at finding these idols. He's ruthless. He does love the game. But it's like, yeah, man, you're playing a game that's all about being social and being likable.
Exactly.
And you forget that one key part every time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you have one that comes to mind, Trey?
What about Woo and Tony? I mean,
Woo
that
and
was
Tony.
That's another one though that I love, Tony. And
me too, but come on, it would have been great to see Woo win Survivor. I mean, and that was a mistake. That was a huge mistake. I was going to say that. I thought you were going to say that.
Yeah, I sort of forgot about it. Yeah.
But and also going all the way back to Colby and Tina. He made basically the same mistake. He brought along Tina instead of I can't remember who was it.
Yeah,
Keith.
Keith, that's right. Yeah.
Keith had like one of the highest cheek lines on a beard of all time. It looked like his beard came up like to right underneath his eyeballs. It was crazy.
Okay, actually, I think I have my real answer. Remember Advantage Get-In, where Siri, gets voted out, where like, wasn't it something like 4 things were played, or like everybody was safe except for her?
Yeah.
But it would have been great if she also had something. What would have happened?
Yeah.
Like if everybody is safe, Jeff Probst has to leave or something like that. That would have been great. He's voted out. That's a fun question though, Doug, and you're killing it here with these cues. Okay, final one here, and then we'll wrap up. This is actually not a question. It's from Dalton Ross again, EW. He has an interview with Jeff Probst, and within this interview, Probst is talking about a rock concert that he went to that he was really pumped up about. And then, talks
Rock
about...
is alive and well.
Yeah, he talks about the episode and the season and all that. But within this interview, Probst drops a hypothetical twist, okay? This is Jeff Probst spitballing here. A potential twist that maybe we will see, maybe we won't. And I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on it and everybody in the live tribe here. So... this is Probst. He says, at the start of the game, all the players would be told that the first 5 players voted out will have one chance to get back in the game. When that day arrived, we march them back in, just like the beloved Edge of Extinction twist. We then explain that they will compete together as a tribe in one epic challenge against 6 random players still remaining in the game. If they win, one of them will ultimately earn their way back into the game. But this challenge requires 6 players. So those 5 that came back, they get to choose one player still in the game to join their new tribe. So they choose the player they think will most help them win the challenge. Then, one last twist to complicate matters. If they lose, then the player they chose to help them is out of the game. Yeah, gone. That's what Probst said. That's diabolical. Sort of intriguing. Pretty messy, if I'm being honest, too. But I just wanted to hear your guys' reaction to that. This hypothetical twist from Probst. JD, do you like it or hate it?
I mean, I don't hate it. I will say that. Right. And what I don't hate about it is that the players are aware of it going in, right? Mm-hmm. Like he did say that they would be told in advance. So that's always been my thing about twists and new wrinkles that they put into the game. I have the least out of, people hate Extinction, Edge of Extinction, and they've hated Redemption Island. I've never minded it that much just because it's a new parameter to the game. It's a new rule. It's a new twist. I'm fine with it. But the caveat is you're told ahead of time. And I think it would make good TV. And there's a lot of pressure on that person who gets picked, right? It's like, oh, thanks for picking me.
Well, I also thought it was weird, like within this hypothetical. Yes, he says everybody knows going into the season, the first 5 people voted out are going to have a chance to get back in the game.
Right.
But is he also telling them they're going to pick one of you still in the game? You're going to compete with them. And if your tribe loses, you're out of here? Or would that be the ultimate, like, oh, this is the super twist of the twist? Who knows? That would be a horrible way to go out, though. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. That's exactly why this is a big time no for me.
Yeah.
Because you're asking for a cerise situation where somebody who wasn't actually voted out of the game is being eliminated from the game. And I think there would also be some shenanigans. Like if they did it this season, imagine if all of the Yasa tribe, the Yua tribe, the green tribe that Shan has gotten so close to and then stabbed in the back. What would stop them from being like, we're picking Shan and losing this challenge? And now she's gone.
Because wow, I hadn't thought about that part. They're like, we're out of the game. Only one of us is coming back, but who cares? We're getting her out of here too. Yeah, that would be that'd be weird because you are blowing your own chance to get back in the game, I guess. Of those people that are coming back. That's interesting. It opens up a lot of questions.
But maybe it's just like the ultimate revenge because Shan orchestrated so many people getting voted out, and it was like, all right, Shan. Can you imagine?
Oh, that's wild. I mean, look, we've seen what did they call it? Where Ozzy like threw it to get into the what was that?
I think that was Redemption, wasn't
Redemption, yeah, and then had to do the one-on-one battles, and he just ran through everybody and got back. Yeah, the duels. And what was the season where was it Burton and Lil came back? Like they actually came back into the game, similar to what Probst is saying here. They had whoever was voted out, they had a chance to get back in. I can't remember if that's Pearl Islands or somebody help me out when the heck that happened. Anyway, it was a long time ago. And I know people didn't like it for sure that once you're voted out, you should be voted out. Then again, Edge of Extinction is the same thing. Like you're voted out and you got a chance to get back in. The guy won the game for crying out loud, Chris. So crazy stuff. Okay, let's start wrapping this up, guys. Any reactions to next week's tease? There wasn't a lot. I mean, it's all about Erika and whether or not she's going to do this. And it sounds like we're all in agreement. She is smashing this thing. Trey, there's no way she's not, right?
Well, you say we didn't get much of a tease, but we actually got an hour of a tease for the actual episode coming up next week. Yeah, Erika's smashing it, baby. She'll get her immunity. And then the question becomes, who on the flip side is now in trouble? Ricard, maybe? Maybe because Shan told Liana when they were on Shipwheel Island that she doesn't trust him. Basically, if I go home, it's because of Ricard. Obviously, Shan is still there, so maybe it doesn't matter as much. Sydney, I suppose, could also be in trouble.
Yeah.
On the switch up, just because it seems like she's maybe been on the bottom of the Luvu tribe. So I'm assuming we're getting a smash from Erika, and then game on, because there's actually a lot of blue Luvu tribe on the current reddish pink tribe. So they haven't had to vote yet, and they've been itching to vote. So I would imagine that they'll get busy next week.
Yeah, we don't even know the tribe name of this new tribe, do we? I know sometimes they get to decide, but sometimes they don't. So we'll see. Okay, JD, any predictions, I guess, really, for next week? What do you think is going to happen?
Other than she's going to smash it,
Yep.
I am hoping for a shell game that we talked about of the idols. It's really sort of anybody's game now. And I'm looking forward to the reaction to the people who had immunity and now they don't have immunity.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's just going to be great. And I'm curious to see, we know that the tribe that is flipped to the wrong side of it is going to be furious with Erika, but are they going to be, as the other team, going to be grateful to her? And will that offer some goodwill to her, and will she have a better standing in the game than she does right now, because she is clearly at the very bottom? I was actually shocked at how quickly everybody seemed to be all on the same page. I know it's an easy vote because she's not there, but just like, oh yeah, Erika, let's get rid of Erika. Is this an anti-Canadian sentiment over there on the island?
Well,
or what's going on? I mean,
I think it works on a couple levels. A lot of people don't know her at all, like the Green and Yellow tribe. So they're like, well, I don't care. It's not me. Sure. I'm fine with her name being thrown out. Danny wants another woman gone, so it's great for him.
Right.
And they've wanted her gone for a couple episodes now. And hell, they're thinking about throwing challenges to get her out. So it feels like everybody's just like aligned enough to be like simple. Yep. Really nice and clean here on the first one. And then we'll figure it out when we get to 11. But yeah, it's probably not going to be her if she's smart at all. She's smashing that thing just so she's safe. Let alone just forget about who you piss off or who you don't. You're safe.
Right. Exactly.
You're good.
Make it to the next episode. That's all you got to do.
That's right. And you've been out of the game for 2 days. I would love to know what her ultimate sin was, because it has to be more. Well, I want to believe that it's more than just wanting Sydney out. Like, she tried to make a move, and that seems to be what put her on the bottom. But as I remember, Nasir did exactly the same thing, and he was on the bottom, but he climbed his way out of that hole. So who knows? It just seemed very unearned, her status at the bottom. Yeah. Other than her being Canadian. So I'm taking it personally. Taking it personally.
She kept talking about Harvey's and how you can make your own burger. And everybody's like, stop it. We're starving. You keep talking about Harvey's all day. We don't even know what that is.
You can make your own burger. So like Subway. And she's like, no, it will be for Subway. Okay. Get her out of here.
Okay. I do have a question. Again, assuming she smashes, who's going to be the most pissed off? Who's going to get the best reaction shot when they find out they have to compete in this thing and that they're no longer safe? Danny, Deshawn, Sydney, Ricard, Evie, or Nasir? Who gives us the money, like, frustration or what, or freaks out? Like, my gut says Sydney, right?
Sydney, it's got to be
Maybe she starts punching her own face. It's all scraped up.
They get into a complete brawl. She fights Probes. She fights Erika.
Yeah, maybe that explains those scrapes. Okay, yeah, I think that's probably the most likely reaction. That's the best, Trey. Can you think of anybody else? The other people are pretty cool cucumbers, I feel like, for the most part.
I guess Ricard could be upset.
Yeah, he's always upset looking.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even if he's not upset, a few episodes later, he's going to bring it up to Erika, be like, hey, you made me go through immunity a second time. She'll be like, yeah, that was 6 days ago. I had to go live out on an island for 2 whole nights by myself. So I can see him harboring a little bit of animosity as the season goes on. We
will see. I do have one prediction that I'm going to really lean into the bean here. I think I said at the start of the season, even though I made JD my, sole survivor pick, that was stupid. I'm convinced a woman is winning this season. It's been a long time. It's been too many men winning this damn thing. And I noticed this, and I'm really reading into things here, but the start of the episode, this pops up on our screen. Now, here we go. #survivor. That's a woman standing there. That is the sole survivor in my mind. Are they telling us that a woman is indeed going to win this season? I said this to Nora. She's like, no, you're reading into things way too much.
No, Bradley's right. That's Heather, actually.
Oh, wow.
That's the only time she ever appears in the episode.
Did we even say Heather's name in the last hour 37?
Not a big episode for Heather.
No. Anyway, okay, so I'm leaning into that. Before we go, though, game within the game, you guys know I'm playing it. You guys know I'm crushing it, killing it. Sort of a tough rebus, if I'm being honest. Here it was this week. You want to have a go at it, JD, really quickly? I don't know if you did it.
I did not.
Okay. Are you gonna struggle with it?
I have.
Yep.
Your.
Yep.
Jacket. Can I have your jacket? Can I have your jacket?
No,
who was that again? That was
Angelina.
Natalie
who asked? Yeah.
Was it Natalie? It was
Natalie. It was Natalie who refused the jacket.
Right.
Yes. I'm not giving you my jacket.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's that. You plug it in. You do your thing. Here's the little word. The new word is tent, guys. Okay. So we have vote, see, earn, toy, war, tent. As I've told you guys before, we're getting to the point where this game within the game is going to be in the game. So
Can't
somehow
wait to
tents
see
come
that
into play.
prediction come true. That's
Yeah.
going to be great.
No, this will be my Babe Ruth like called.
That'll be your Tiffany pointing at Liana. I knew it.
That's true. That's
I
true.
love it.
All right, we'll call
Where
it there.
was the rebus? I missed it.
It was on.
I haven't seen either.
I believe
so.
it was on. It was a really quick shot. I think it was when they were showing them going to the little merge feast tent. It was on the side of the actual little what do you call that thing? Cabana? Yeah, there's probably
Yeah,
a
who knows?
hut.
Yeah.
Hut, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, it was on the top of it. Like, but it was really quick. It was quick, like little pan shot. Like it was there for a second, and then the whole game within the game popped up. But yeah, I had to go to the website, is what you're asking, JD, to actually do it. Okay, I didn't do it during the episode. Even I'm not that great. Okay, a lot of fun for a weird episode. Thank you so much to the Live Tribe for joining us here in the stream team live on YouTube. Really appreciate it. Subscribe to No Buffs here on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. Send in your questions, nodunks@theathletic.com. Leave them in the YouTube comments below. Tweet them in. I think that's the best way, if I'm being honest, at NoDunksInc. That's INC. Questions about this episode or moving forward here. We'll be back next week. I think Jason is going to be back. I mean, again, we'll see if he smashes the hourglass, and we got to do this all over again. But
I actually am just now realizing that Jason has been here the whole time.
Oh my God.
Just
Why
watching
didn't you say
quietly.
anything? Yeah, he's pumped for the Knicks game tonight. Yeah.
Crazy. He's doing a great job of hiding, but in the spirit of Jason Concepcion, I would just like to remind everybody that the Bulls are back.
Ooh.
So we will see if he tunes in next week after the big win tonight for the Bullies.
I can't wait. And JD, I'm loving your thoughts on this prediction of the idols getting passed. The immunity idols getting passed around. Little game of shells here. Shells? Is that what it's called? I don't know.
Game of shells.
Shell game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, this has gone on too long. We've podcasted way too much today.
Yeah,
the tribe has spoken.